going to keep this brief because the only purpose of this video is to expose a specific myth that's associated with Albert Pike and his book Morals and Dogma. I blocked Arnie because he kept repeating the same stuff over and over again. He refused to watch or address anything in my videos. He didn't even watch them. So he was a waste of my time. I told him if his next comment was just the same stuff over and over again that I was going to block him, and he just posted the same thing over again. So I just don't have time to have somebody flooding my videos with stupidity. Or at least not stupidity that's just repeating itself every couple of minutes. Well, Killspeed 2 has jumped to Arnie's aid. The only new thing Arnie posted before I blocked him, and this is one of those things that I predicted was going to happen. I mean, I didn't say it, but it was one of the quote-unquote evidences that's used all the time, so I knew he would bring it up eventually. Killspeed has essentially challenged me on this. Basically, this is a quote that Arnie claims came from Morals and Dogma. Killspeed has jumped to his defense and said, yes, it is in Morals and Dogma. And he says that there's a video of Texe Marrs, who is a complete liar, by the way. I have 2 of his books, and they're absolute garbage. Not to go off on a tangent, because I don't want this to be too long, but Texe Marrs claims that he's an expert on the occult, but then he makes all of these simple, stupid mistakes when talking about these different topics. They're mistakes that nobody who's actually studied the occult would make, so he's obviously lying. Like he'll call the left-hand path the left-handed path. Or he'll take like there was this one picture from ancient Egypt, it was like a tomb illustration or something. And it was a picture of, I think, Osiris and Isis, or as they were called in Egypt, Asar and Aset, being guarded by a serpent, which was a guardian spirit. And under this picture he falsely claimed it was an image of the unholy Trinity, and that this serpent represented the goddess or something like that, and it wasn't even a goddess, it was just a guardian spirit. So Texe Marrs just makes stuff up, basically. So basically Killspeed says, yes, this quote is from Morals and Dogma because a liar like Texe Marrs said so. And now he's said to me, when I said it was an admitted hoax, he says, wrong, where is your proof? So I wasn't going to make any more videos about Arnie, but I did want to address this quote anyway. I wasn't going to because it would be continuing a debate with somebody I had blocked, but since Killspeed has pretty much taken up the mantle, I'm going to go ahead and explode this real quick. And Killspeed, once I show you that you're completely wrong about this, I expect an apology from you. I love this quote because it proves that people like Arnie are everything they accuse others of being. He accuses me of being a liar, and he's lying about the source of this quote. He claims that I haven't done research, yet if he did even 5 minutes of research, he would find out that this isn't in Morals and Dogma, and it is a proven hoax. I'm not going to read the whole quote because I'm trying to keep this kind of short. But the quote is supposedly from Albert Pike. What's interesting is, I was looking at this quote on all kinds of anti-Masonic conspiracy sites, and none of those sites even claim this comes from Morals and Dogma. So even the anti-Mason sites that use this quote never say that it's from Morals and Dogma. So how Texe Marrs and Arnie and Killspeed are saying it's from Morals and Dogma, I don't know. Because their own anti-Masonic allies don't even say it's in Morals and Dogma. Essentially, this quote was supposedly said by Albert Pike in private at a secret meeting of Masons. To keep it short, I won't read the whole thing, but in short, it says the Masonic religion should be, by all of us initiates of the higher degrees, maintained in the purity of the Luciferian doctrine. If Lucifer were not God, would Adonai and his priests calumniate him, and Adonai or Adonai is Lord? Yes, Lucifer is God, and unfortunately Adonai is also God. And then it goes on like this. And it finishes and says, Lucifer, God of light and God of good, is struggling for humanity against Adonai, the God of darkness and evil. Now, where does this quote come from? There was a man with a very long name, which was Marie Joseph Gabriel Antoine Jogand Pages. I can't speak French, so I'm probably saying all of this wrong. But he went by various pen names, including Utukkuxul, which was his most famous. He converted to Catholicism, and Catholicism and Freemasonry were always in opposition. So when this man converted to Catholicism, he wrote a 4-volume history of Freemasonry, and this tried to prove that Freemasonry was satanic. And he basically invented all of these eyewitness reports of things that Freemasons had seen and things like that. And he, made up other pen names for himself and pretended that they were contacts. One of them was Diana Vaughn. Diana Vaughn claimed to be involved in all of these satanic Freemasonic rituals and things, and then she supposedly converted to Catholicism. But Diana Vaughn was nothing more than one of this guy's pen names that he invented. You can find the full text of this document. It's called The Confession of Leo Taxel. You can do a search online and find the whole thing. What this was Taxel had called a press conference, and he said that he would introduce Diana Vaughn. Of course he couldn't do that because he had invented this character. She wasn't real. What he did do at this press conference was he admitted that a lot of the stuff that he had written in his books was completely fake. Now here's where it gets really interesting. That quote that is supposedly in Morals and Dogma doesn't even appear in any of Taxel's books. It actually appears in a book called Woman and Child in Universal Freemasonry by Abel Claren de la Rive, and I'm probably pronouncing that wrong too. But here's the part that makes this really interesting. When you read this quote in Woman and Child in Universal Freemasonry, keep in mind this is the first time this quote ever appeared. The book gives as its source Diana Vaughn, a completely fictitious character invented by a man who admitted that a lot of the stuff that he said was completely made up. So, kill speed. This quote that appears in Morals and Dogma and is a complete admission that Freemasons worship Satan was nothing more than something that was claimed that Albert Pike said in a book written by someone who was never there, that supposedly heard it from someone else who wasn't really a real person but was rather the pen name of another person who admitted that a lot of his stories were completely fictitious. I wait for that apology with bated breath. As a really quick postscript that some of you may find amusing, I wanted to mention this just because I think it's funny. Before I blocked Arnie, apparently I learned that I'm not really an atheist. Actually, I'm an Illuminati Freemason Satanist. Just letting all of you know.